So imagine this. You're standing in Costco, ready to buy your favorite cereal, and surprise, today it's half off. You came in planning to buy one box, but somehow by the time you're standing in the checkout aisle, you've got 12 in your cart. Yeah, let's talk about that. Hey there, my name's Tracy Lynn, and I teach midlife women and men how to right size their homes so they fit the life they're living right now. And today, I want to talk about something that turned the way I do my shopping on its ear. So, I think one of the biggest reasons why our homes feel so full is because we're bringing in more inventory than our lives actually require. Now, before I dive in, just a little bit of a warning. I'm going to slip into teacher mode for a couple of minutes during today's video, and I hope that doesn't chase you away. But here's the thing. I think this topic is one of the biggest reasons why so many empty nesters struggle to get their homes under control, right? So hopefully you'll stick around to the very end so that you get the entire message. Okay, now it's time for a story. So for years, I thought my clutter problem happened because I bought things. Things I didn't need, to be more exact, right? And yes, many times that is the case. But lately, I started noticing something else that's happening. Most of the things filling our homes are actually things that we use. So the problem isn't that we're buying the wrong things. The problem is we're buying the right things in the wrong quantities. Things like paper towels, shampoo, toilet paper, coffee, cereal, cleaning supplies, dog food. I could go on and on. But those things I just listed are things that we actually need to run our homes, right? So, no, they're not exactly clutter, they're inventory. And that's a really important difference. And I think that's where a lot of us get stuck because we all need inventory to run our homes. So the question becomes this: how much inventory does your life today actually need? Because I think many of us are buying inventory for a life we used to have instead of the life we're living right now today. So think about it. Years ago, it made perfect sense to buy in bulk, right? Take me, for example. I had 4 kids at home, and whenever they ate a meal, they would always come with a friend. So having an overstocked pantry was the only way to keep my sanity, especially during the summer. Oh, and then let's not forget about school starting. And then you had to pack lunches. You had to have gallons of milk for cereal every morning. You needed drinks for practices and their sport games. And having to cook dinner in 5 minutes before heading out the door meant that you heavily relied on convenience foods. Yes, life was busy, so buying extras made perfect sense. But then life changed. Our kids graduated and they moved out on their own. And that meant we were now cooking for fewer people. I was caring for fewer people. I was doing laundry for fewer people. But here's what I experienced, and maybe you did too. Those old habits, oh my gosh, they're really hard to break, especially shopping habits. So here's the important point that I really want to make. Our shopping habits need to right size just like our homes do. All right, let me give you an example of what I mean. And this literally just happened to me. So my parents were coming up for a visit. And since we don't have a Costco where we live, I asked my mom to stop and grab me 2 cases of K-Cups. They're the Kirkland brand, which is my favorite brand, the breakfast blend. It's my favorite flavor. And bonus, they're a really good deal, right? And God love her. She brought them up exactly like I asked, hauling them in her car with all the other things she had to bring up. But the kicker was, I don't really use K-Cups anymore because a few months ago, I accidentally created this new amazing flavor by mixing different grounds together in my coffee pot. And it has now become my all-time favorite morning blend. So much so that I actually get excited in the morning because I get to drink it. Yes, I'm not kidding. So tell me, why did I still have my mom bring me those 2 giant cases of K-Cups? Because they're like this big. They're big boxes. Because I didn't need them anymore and they weren't my favorite flavor anymore. The only reason left is they were a good deal and I figured I would use them eventually. Oh, yes. The words eventually, I think, really hit home with a lot of us. Now, there they sit, taking up an entire shelf in my pantry. And every time I see them, I think, why on earth did I buy those? It wasn't because I needed more coffee. It was because the bargain made the decision instead of my life. Wow, talk about an eye-opening moment. And that had me wondering, how many other things in my house get here for the exact same reason? What am I still buying for an older version of my life that I no longer live anymore? Simply out of habit. Okay, so at this point, I hope you're starting to see what I'm talking about. And even though I might sound like I'm lecturing you, I even feel like I'm yelling at you for some reason. That's not my goal at all. I'm not here to tell you you're doing anything wrong because I did the exact same thing. Without even thinking about it, I was still shopping like our family hadn't changed. And I think more of us are doing this than we might realize, right? Buying for yesterday instead of shopping for today. And that's exactly how our homes become overstocked. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens one good deal at a time. And that means you stop buying things because you need them and you start buying them because the sale convinced you to. Before you know it, every shelf in your pantry is full, every corner of your garage is crammed, and somehow you have 2 cases of toothpaste for just you and your husband. Then something else happens. Your inventory starts to make decisions for you. Oh my gosh, who could have ever seen that one coming? Okay, here's what I mean by that. So, have you ever opened your pantry wanting a bowl of Cheerios and instead grabbed the Raisin Bran because it expires next week and you still have 3 more boxes in your overstock pantry? Why? Well, because 4 months ago it was on sale. And instead of buying 1 box, you bought 6. And you have been force feeding yourself cereal for weeks. And just like that, you're no longer making the decisions. Your inventory is. It's even deciding what you can eat. But it doesn't stop there because now it's telling you what you can wear, what cleaning products you should use next, and what you should feel guilty about throwing away. And when your inventory is running the show, just living in your home can feel so exhausting. Because instead of having a home that feels helpful, you have a home that feels stressful. Okay, here's the thing. The hidden cost of too much inventory, it's not just about the money, right? Yes, spending extra money does play a part, but I actually think the bigger cost is the feeling it creates. Because having too much inventory turns your home into a claustrophobic space. Sorry, that's a hard word. You open the pantry and every shelf is packed, right? You look into the bathroom cabinet and there's enough shampoo to last, what, 3 years? Then you're standing in front of your linen closet with a 32 pack of toilet paper, staring at a shelf that's already crammed full with, oh, guess what? More toilet paper. Oh, yes, that is a true story. And because there's so much stuff, nothing can breathe anymore. So eventually, neither can you. And that's about the time when your house starts feeling more like a warehouse than a home. Okay, so what's the answer? Well, before you panic and swear off Costco forever, let me tell you what I'm not saying. I'm not saying you should stop shopping sales. I love a good bargain, especially when it's for something I already planned to buy. And I'm definitely not saying you should never buy bulk again, because sometimes buying in bulk makes perfect sense, even for an empty nester couple in an empty nester home. So maybe to get the right answer, we need to ask a different question, like, how much inventory does my life actually need before it's time to buy this again? That doesn't mean you pass on the sale. It just helps you decide how much actually makes sense for you to buy. Maybe that means 6 tubes of toothpaste instead of 24. You still get the bargain. You're just buying an amount you need instead of an amount the deal convinced you to buy. Now, the sale isn't deciding how much comes home with you. Your life is. And that is a game changer. So one of the biggest lessons I've learned over the last few years is this. Right-sized living isn't just about right-sizing what you already own. It's also about right-sizing what you're bringing into your home. Because every item you bring through the front door is asking for space, whether it's a shelf, a drawer, or an entire cabinet. So the next time you find yourself standing at Costco, Target, or even Sam's Club, enjoy the sale. Heck, smile big at that price tag. But don't let the sale decide how much you should buy. Let your life decide how much you should buy. And if you do that consistently, I think you'll be amazed at how much more comfortable your home begins to feel. Okay, that's all I have for you today. If this video gave you a different way to think about the things you're bringing into your home, I'd really appreciate it if you'd give it a thumbs up, because that does help my channel grow. And if you haven't subscribed yet, What are you waiting for? I'm just kidding. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below because I post a new video every Friday and I would love to have you back. Okay, that's it for today. Have a wonderful weekend and I'll see you next time. Bye.